But we're here with meteorologist Eric Lau, who has the full package and all the elements in that piece, in that puzzle. Can you share with us, Eric, what that full package or the full update is?
Right. So the first change that we're going to look at is the hurricane watch that was in effect for Kauai has now been downgraded to a tropical storm watch. That's the main change for this particular update.
When we're talking about a hurricane and tropical storm watch or warnings, what is the difference between that?
A hurricane watch meant that we could have expected hurricane conditions within the next 48 hours. However, now that the system looks like it could be potentially weakening, and with Kauai being further away from Hurricane Lane, the conditions for a tropical storm watch are now more likely compared to a hurricane watch.
And we have this updated graphics that's showing the most current projected track, and then also those two colored circles in the middle that represent that tropical storm force winds and the hurricane force winds. Can you give us an idea? Still at this point, the islands are outside of that cone of uncertainty. What impacts can we still see with that? As we all know so far, we aren't out of the clear yet.
Right, so Hurricane Lane continues to move northward at about 5 miles per hour. As you can see here in this image, this red dot here indicates the hurricane force winds extend out to about 35 miles. And in this orange shaded area, tropical storm force winds extend out about 135 miles. So definitely, as you can see, as Lane marches forward more further north, islands within Oahu County and Maui County and parts of the Big Island will definitely see conditions of tropical storm force winds. Tropical storm force winds range from 40 miles per hour all the way up to 74 miles per hour. So definitely some of those winds could be damaging. You can see down trees, branches be falling down. Potentially some of these branches or trees could be falling over power lines, causing prolonged electrical outages. Flying debris can be dangerous for people outside. If some of the debris can be lifted, they can rise and fly into people's homes or break windows even. So people be vigilant out there. We're expecting Lane to continue its forward movement, so tropical storm force winds could be becoming more increasingly likely with time over the next day or so.
So another big thing that everybody's been waiting for is, of course, the track of it. Now, the track still looks very similar to the one before. Now, let's just say the wind shear that we've also been talking about, and we know at this point that it's a contributing factor to the weakening or potential weakening of the system. How does the wind shear look at this point as it's continuing to move closer?
The wind shear has been pretty consistent from the southwest blowing to the northeast. So as Lane moves forward, northward toward the island, it is undergoing the influence of shear in the upper level. So that's why we are seeing this weakening trend over the next 48 hours. However, if we're going to be watching the center of the storm, if it can maintain its convection, keep those thunderstorms going, it could potentially remain stronger than anticipated. So we really have to watch that track of Lane moving forward, because it can be anywhere within this cone. If it's anywhere along the right side of the cone, we can see longer periods of heavy swells, heavy damaging surf, prolonged duration of heavy rainfall, bringing the threat of flash flooding, and also, storm surge with heavy surf, coastal erosion, and also the wind impacts can be prolonged as well.
Now let's talk about the curve itself. Where is that curve coming from, or at least what's steering it to go that way, or if not, what's the lack of that will potentially allow it to go forward, continue north rather than curve west?
Right. The steering flow around this, there's a high pressure system far to our north, so the steering flow around that ridge has been quite slow, and that wind that's supposed to be blowing Lane towards the north it's a little complex right now because of the interaction with the terrain. So that's why the short-term forecast has been quite difficult, which also means that turn to the west, it could be delayed or it could be sooner. So that's the whole uncertainty about it, and that's why we really need the residents to remain vigilant of the situation, because any further movement north towards the right side of that cone can lead to more prolonged life-threatening impacts.
Thank you, Eric. So let's get to some questions that have been coming in continuously from viewers checking us out online and also on air. One of the questions, if the hurricane stalls to 0 miles per hour, what will that cause the system to dissipate, or can it continue to spin without a forward movement?
A tropical cyclone will continue to spin typically a zero speed is really unlikely. I know we saw the speed down to 2 miles per hour this morning, but since then it has kind of sped up into the 5 mile per hour range. It's still slow, so that prolonged period of time, we're still going to be looking at those potential impacts to affect many portions of the state.
And then one more question that came in from a resident from the island of Molokai. Are the winds that are going, are the winds going to continue in the direction that they have been blowing, or can we expect them to change direction?
Right, with Lane being south of Molokai right now, winds are coming in from the east or northeast, kind of like a trade wind direction. However, as Lane continues its forward motion towards the north, we can start to see some of those winds turn to the east and maybe southeast as Lane gets more closer to the islands.
And just want to confirm, so a hurricane or a low-pressure system spins in a counterclockwise direction, which means it sucks in the winds in that direction, correct?
Right, so the winds will follow the rotation of the system, so a counterclockwise rotation, meaning winds coming from the east, and then as the Lane gets closer, winds coming from the southeast.
Is that why usually at times where we've been seeing on social media that there's that eerie, quiet, no wind feeling before they start to feel the impacts of the system?
I mean, there probably was a point in time when the winds were quite weak, but as Lane gets closer, we did experience the wind speeds become stronger and stronger. So some of the portion of the state already feeling some of the tropical storm force conditions. So everybody be prepared as the day and the night goes on. We could see winds gradually increasing as Lane approaches closer. So really be vigilant of the situation and stay aware.
And I think we just want to end off with the last question, or at least just a statement and a reminder for everybody, is that there is no time to put your guards down because there's always effects afterwards, correct? Right.
So I know everybody has been kind of paying attention and really anxiously awaiting that westward turn, but the westward turn is really a difficult part of the forecast to really pin down. So we have that cone of uncertainty there for a reason, because it could be anywhere within this cone. So any time it can be on the right side of the cone, we're going to see more and more of those impacts. So it's the triple threat. We're going to see prolonged periods of heavy rain, damaging surf from the south, and also potentially damaging winds all across portions of the state.
Thank you very much, Eric. We appreciate that. Very valuable information coming in with that 11 o'clock update. Now, again, it's still a very strong storm. It is giving that very slight weakening trend, but that does by no means tell us that the system is not a threat to the island. So, of course, keep prepared. And, of course, if you have questions, send them to kamaka.pili@khon2.com, and we'll try to get those answered for you. Back to you guys in the studio.